My name is Craig Ferguson and I'm attempting to walk across the entire length of the USA, starting in LA and finishing in Boston. Over 3,000 miles separates me from my end goal, which is seeing Scotland at the World Cup for the first time in 28 years. And we're aiming to raise £1 million for mental health in the process. So let's get into it. Here we go! I still can't get over what happened last week back in Denver and at Red Rocks. That was just a dream come true for me. You know, the past few months really has been just that crazy. It all seems like a bit of a fever dream. Me and Big Matt were speaking, and you know, I don't think the whole reality of everything that we're doing, you know, the whole scale of it is going to set in until those first few weeks of being back home after the World Cup and sitting down and having nothing to do. Then really just looking back and going, what has even happened there? But we're a long way until then. We've got a mission to do, a big mission to get from here until that end point. But I'm all rested up. We're now back out on to the road. Last night I made it into a new state, another new state. We said goodbye to Missouri, crossed the famous Mississippi River and in to Illinois, where I am now. Indianapolis is our next big city on the horizon, so I'm looking forward to that. Let's go! This is glorious, nice woodland trails, cycle paths for 16-mile stretches. Tell you something, Illinois, you've made a good first impression. We have a visitor, guys. Yeah. I really liked how in last week's video it started with a pretty wholesome story. So here's what happened to us last night. We parked outside a tiny little village called Brownstown. Now, last night I went in to get a late night snack of some sort, and the shopkeeper looked at me and simply said, "What the fuck is all of this about?" Which is a fair kind of reaction to my get-up. I obviously explained the challenge, etc. And the guy just looked completely baffled. I was like, I don't think he's getting what I'm saying. He said, "Wait there 1 second." So he turned around and I was like, what is this guy doing? I have no idea. The guy on the spot wrote a check for $200, handed me it and said, "That's the coolest thing I have ever heard, best of luck." And on the check wrote 3 words: importance of humanity. And I thought, wow, that is incredible. There is good people out there. I think with these challenges and everything that I do in life, I would like to try and remind folk that kindness is actually the default setting of humanity. People aren't born to be bad bastards. People are born to be nice people. And I think that that is 95% of people. I really do. We just don't see any of it, so hopefully this brightens your morning at the start of this video. Right, okay YouTube, here's a question for you. I know that my mum and brother watch all these videos, right? And they right now hate the way that I look. The same way that I do, by the way. I look so scruffy. I promised myself that across the entire challenge I would not get a haircut. I would let the whole thing grow out all the way from now until the end. Now the reason for this, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, let me know what you think in the comments. I can't show up to that final day with like a fresh trim, can I? Surely, like, if the photos and I look dead fresh and all nice and trimmed, like, people are going to be like, has he even walked? Let me know what you think, but I'm set in my ways. No haircut. Just read a little bit about the history of this bridge. So it's called the Cumberland Bridge. Oh my god. I think that's thunder, guys. No joke. Did you hear that? Well, I mean, anyways, what I was going to say is this bridge was built by, well, helped built by Abe Lincoln himself, and I think that it's the longest like wooden bridge in America that has no weight limit on it, which is interesting.
Right, so Craig has not taken the camera with him because the weather is so bad outside. It is raining, hailstones, thunder, everything. So yeah, it's so bad that he can't take the camera out with him. So I'll try show you through the window because I'm not going to I tell you. It doesn't look very bad right now, but it's on and off all the time. It's so bad.
So we just finished there, 28.5 miles, which is under what we're meant to get in the day, but today has been an absolute write-off. I mean, even now, look outside, it is it going to load? Absolutely miserable. Like, today's been one of the most difficult days, just with other stuff happening in the background as well. The weather, it has been unrelenting. I think the idea of adding another hour on tomorrow and getting a rest up early tonight sounds absolutely glorious right about now. And I need to try and find a way to dry my shoes in time for tomorrow. My poor shoes are absolutely soaked. I think sometimes when you're doing something like this, knowing your limits is a good thing. Is it bad that I didn't make the mileage today? Yes. Will I make up the time when I feel better mentally and physically and the weather and the conditions is better? Yeah, I will. And I just think to myself sometimes, like, in scenarios like this, you need to listen to your inner monologue and think, for the sake of getting in an hour later tonight, being even more drenched, being even more miserable, and then having to wake up tomorrow and try and do it again, or be happy like I am now because I've stopped walking, try and dry all my stuff again for tomorrow, and then just make up the time when the weather allows for it. I think it's a no-brainer, although I do feel guilty right now, but hey ho. Well, it's now time for the hardest part, going again. Basically 80% of my clothes are damp right now. My shoes somehow managed to get fairly dry, but they're still pretty damp, and the kilt is, you guessed it, pretty damp. Oh well, let's do it. Another day. Stopped early yesterday, so no excuses today. Rule number 1. Missing one day is a day off. Missing 2 days in a row is the start of a new habit. Something like that anyways, I think that's it. Note to self, guys, don't try and park anywhere near a high school.
That sounds so bad.
That does sound so bad, but we were literally parked like outside, like on the main road outside of a high school there, and the sheriff came up, pure some attitude on. I was like, oh yeah, sorry, and then we done the usual kind of explaining, like went out, and what did he say? He was like, when we moved to go outside,
he was like, stay back, stay right there. I was like, oh come on, man.
He was like, hold. I was like, fuck it, it's alright, it's fine. And then basically, so Matthew, he was like, can I see your documents? Have you got a driver's license?
And I gave him my license, obviously, and he was like, this is a British driver's license, and I was like, yeah, because I'm British, I learned in Britain. And he was like, you can't drive with that here, you need a valid American license. And then Craig was like, no you don't.
Yeah, like, sorry sir, but like,
you're wrong.
Honestly, it's baffling that a police officer doesn't know the driving laws of his own country, but I don't want to say too much because we'll only be a week away when this video comes out, so if you see this, sorry mate, but you're wrong. Anyways, we've moved now, it's time to get some bacon and eggs, and
have our first break.
The last few days have undoubtedly been a struggle. Anyone that's been following me on social media or even kind of seen the rest of this video will appreciate that, and I think that the first thing to let slip when you're feeling that way is of course kind of the content side of things. It's just so hard to put a smile on your face every single day and get up and get, oh look at this, he's following me. He's coming to Boston. Let's do it then. Fucking hell, that was a no. But anyways, what I was getting at is that it's the putting a smile on and going again and really just trying to work through it. But I'm feeling good again now, you know. One day off is alright. It's allowed, as I said earlier, like, you know, it's not been too hard on myself. Yesterday I honestly wanted to crawl up into a little ball and die because I only walked 28 miles, and you know, if I'd said that to myself at the start of the challenge, that I would have been raging at a 28 mile day, I would have been like, what? Are you crazy? And that's the reality, that's just how far we're pushing and how unrelenting it's been, because we've got a deadline. We have to be there in time to get to this World Cup match. And I think that that's the hardest part of all, is that it doesn't matter how hard you push, you cannot take your foot off the pedal. But every day we keep chipping away, we keep on chipping away, and we're getting closer and closer. And it really does feel like it, to be honest with you. This challenge was never going to be easy, it really wasn't. And it's been harder than I ever thought it could be at times. But to end this video on a big, fat positive, Matthew's just messaged me and said that he's going to buy a darts board, which it didn't take very long for me to greenlight that idea. So, let's play darts! That was awful, Craig. I'll go blue.
Alright, good. I'm right on top.
Shows it. How is it taking us this long to get
Honestly,
this?
Mate.
The 90! Introducing Matt the Manipulator Allen!
Introducing Craig the Brave! It's looking at the roof. Introducing Craig the Brave!
Come on. Let's play darts! We ready? Double one. Right, no one got anywhere near, so we're doing good old fashioned closest to the bull. Me to throw first. That's close. Oh, oh, come down to this.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's it.
I really genuinely don't know.
Aye, that's it. You've done it.
Yes!
When you're doing challenges like this and when you travel the world and you speak to people all over the place, you realise that mental health issues are a thing for absolutely everyone. Look at that! Look at that! The city skyline! Oh, we're almost there. Behind me on this side of the river is the Indianapolis Zoo, but there'll be no monkey business from me tonight. Sorry, that was terrible. We'll be straight to bed and going again tomorrow. The time for nights out and parties in the big cities is back in Denver. Now it's head down and get there on time. Although I tell you what, nothing beats this feeling of walking straight into another major city, knowing that we started all the way back in LA 73 days ago. It is insane. Indianapolis looks pretty cool, I can't lie. Good first impressions. So Indianapolis as a city is famous for that big sign up there. Not the sign, but the Indy 500, the NASCAR, which I believe starts at the end of this month. But we'll just be missing it, sadly. I didn't get to go up and past the speedway, but it is what it is. I think I've seen plenty of America at this point. Stay on the road.
I mean, that's sick. Yours is neater than mine.
Oh.
All your lines are in line. That's quite nice.
I think, is it good? I was
Aye.
when I started with the lines, but
Your 3 on the 30th is terrible. Your 3s
I
are
know.
so bad.
thank you guys for watching yet another weekly video here on the YouTube. Remember and make sure to subscribe. I can only apologise that this week's was a little bit tougher, less upbeat, but that's the reality of what we're doing. The best way that you can get behind me and get behind this challenge is to donate by visiting www.thetartantrek.co.uk. Go and donate anything you can and follow on all socials at CraigFerguson_1. I'll see you in the next one.